Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the F1 world lately, and trust me, it's a game changer. So, McLaren's team principal, Andrea Stella, recently dropped a bombshell about the new F1 regulations, calling them disruptive. Now, personally, I think this is a massive understatement. These changes aren't just disruptive, they're a complete overhaul of how drivers approach the sport. But here's the kicker, while many drivers are complaining, Stella is actually praising his lineup, Lando Norris and Piastri, for how they've adapted. And this, my friends, is where it gets really interesting. First off, let's talk about these regulations. The 2026 season brought in major changes to aerodynamics and power units, and it's not just about tweaking a few settings. What many people don't realize is that these changes force drivers to rethink their entire driving style. It's like asking a pianist to switch to drums mid-performance. The cars are fundamentally different, and the power units, in particular, are a beast. The electrical output has been cranked up, which sounds great on paper, but in reality, it's a double-edged sword. Reliability issues have been a nightmare, and drivers are essentially flying blind while trying to master these new systems. Now, here's where I find Stella's perspective fascinating. He's not just acknowledging the challenge, he's applauding his drivers for rising to the occasion. In my opinion, this speaks volumes about the mindset at McLaren. They're not just focusing on the car, they're investing in the driver-team relationship. Stella mentions that Norris and Piastri are working closely with the team, day in and day out, to understand and exploit the new power units. This isn't just about driving fast, it's about becoming one with the machine. And let's be real, in a sport where milliseconds matter, this level of collaboration could be the difference between winning and losing. But what this really suggests is a broader shift in F1. The sport is no longer just about raw speed or natural talent. It's about adaptability, intelligence, and teamwork. The drivers who can quickly understand and harness these new technologies will be the ones leading the pack. And if you take a step back and think about it, this is exactly what F1 needs to stay relevant. It's not just about who's the fastest, it's about who's the smartest. One thing that immediately stands out is the pressure this puts on younger drivers like Piastri. He's stepping into a season where the rules of the game have completely changed, and yet, he's expected to perform. From my perspective, this is both a massive challenge and an incredible opportunity. If he can crack the code early, he could establish himself as a future champion. But it's not just about him, it's about how the entire grid responds. Are we going to see a new era of F1 where adaptability trumps experience? This raises a deeper question: what does this mean for the future of the sport? If these disruptive regulations become the norm, we could see a completely different kind of driver emerging, someone who's as much an engineer as a racer. And honestly, I'm here for it. F1 has always been about pushing boundaries, and this feels like the next logical step. But it also makes me wonder, are we losing something in the process? The raw, instinctive driving style that made legends like Senna and Schumacher iconic, is that becoming a thing of the past? In closing, I think what McLaren is doing here is more than just adapting to new rules. They're redefining what it means to be a top-tier F1 team. Stella's praise for Norris and Piastri isn't just about their performance, it's about their mindset. And that, to me, is the real story here. As we watch this season unfold, keep an eye on how teams and drivers navigate these changes. Because in the end, it's not just about who crosses the finish line first, it's about who's ready to rewrite the rulebook.